honestly, 90% of Instagram, TikTok, whatever, will only show you the top people. And that's not real life. Not everybody's doing their first HYROX in an hour and 30 minutes. And one thing that people understand, everybody's lifestyle is different, okay? You have people who have kids, husband, wife. Some of these people that you see that are doing these elite things, this is all they do. They're just some type of athlete within their brand or something like that. So they may not have the same type of lifestyle. So like, don't compare or contrast like, oh, I didn't do this time, and that's what the times I always see. Like Tay said, go at your own pace, go at your own rate of what you can do without making it be too much, without making yourself be that person that's cramping up, making yourself be that person who's leaving in the wheelchair. Go at your own pace. Feel it out. What's your body telling you at what rate you can go? Then do that.
This is the Rolling with Tay podcast. I'm your host, Tasia, aka Tay, and this is a Tay Short episode 35. This is a recap of our first ever HYROX double. My cousin Courtney, we did a doubles a few weeks ago, May 31st, right?
Yep.
Our first HYROX. If you remember back to the earlier episode where we were talking about all these things that we had on our list. Well, mainly I had on my list, and I was trying to talk Courtney into doing it. One was, maybe a half marathon. She said no, and she stuck to her word. She did not do it, but she came out to support me. So I appreciate that. But she agreed to a HYROX after our DECA. So, yeah, let's get into it. How do you feel after you had some time to like rest and really think about what you put yourself through?
HYROX was fun. It was fun. That's first and foremost. Once again, as I did for the DECA, I felt like there was an area that I didn't train as hard for as I probably should have, which was the running, because the majority of the race really depends on the runs over the stations. So, where I practiced a lot of station work, I didn't run as much. One, I don't like to run that much, but it's also winter when we started preparing, and it's like to go outside and try to get miles in and things like that. So I did do other cardio like the assault bike, the bike. I ran on the treadmill a little bit, but running on treadmill, FYI, is not the same as running outside, in case people didn't know. I knew that. But I just wanted to get my legs moving and things like that. So I kind of do wish I had a later race where I could have been outside now where it's nicer, warmer weather, where I could have run a little bit more to help that part of the race. But overall, it was fun, decent experience. It hurt. It did hurt. I will not lie about that part. It did hurt, but we pushed through, we prevailed, we finished, we did what we did. So it was a great time.
I agree. I had a good time. It was fun. Shout out to the people that came out to support us,
Yes.
and like it really made a difference. My friends, your friends, were there to support and cheering us on. Um, I would say, yeah, the running. Well, see, I had an easier time with the running because I was training for the half marathon. So I was consistently running up until that point, really. So it just made the run a little easier for me. But, I don't care for running like that. So, but it did because the half marathon was on the 27th of April or the 26th of April. And then basically a month later, a little over a month later, we're doing the HYROX. So
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't that, hard for me. And plus, I was in LA running and the weather was nicer. So it made it easier for me. But all in all, it was good. I can say afterwards, I didn't feel as bad, and that may be because I did the like the leg compressions right after. I went in the sauna and I like took this little, I think it's called the shot or some, I don't know what it's called, but this little recovery shot that we got at HYROX. One of the vendors were there. So I think that helped because the next day I in my mind I was like, "Oh gosh, I'm gonna feel bad." But I felt really good afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, the next day I did the compression boots too. I didn't have too much time for the sauna and stuff, but um, I have like a massage gun, so I did that before I went to bed and stuff. And I felt fine the next day. It was the day after that
Ooh,
that I had some like onset of some soreness that I was just like, oh, I thought we would have had this the day after, not 2 days later. But we did, so it was what it was. I just continued to stretch, use the massage gun and stuff. So overall, it wasn't the pain that I thought I was gonna be in. When I finished, I thought I was gonna be like, oh man, the next 2, 3, 4 days, this is gonna be bad. I adjusted like my training schedule. I took off the rest of the week. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna feel terrible. But I actually didn't feel that bad. And then I just started back, my routine with walking and stretching and some core. And then we got back into, the regular schedule program. But yeah, I could say I definitely didn't feel as bad as I thought I was going to feel. So that was a plus.
yeah, that's yeah, same here. And I think what in my mind too, because we're looking online, we're looking on social media, and then just different people, they're showing you the day after or how
Yeah.
they, leaving in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Shout out to Megan. But you know what I'm saying? Like certain people, like
Yeah.
it was just like, wow. So in my mind, I'm like, ooh, okay. I'm kind of like, not
Fear going in
prepared
there.
for it, but yeah, it's in your head,
What's going
like,
to happen
right,
before? What's going to happen after? You don't know. You like, what in the world? Right. You see all these people. I didn't make it through. And it's like crazy because I'm watching their whole like lead up to the event and they're training and they're going and they're doing their thing and then they get there and they're like, I didn't finish. Or I finished but I had to go to the hospital after. Like, what is going on here?
right,
So
right,
that was like probably the one thing that was stressing me out. I'm like I want to finish. I don't want to like have anything happen to me during the race. I want my body shutting down. I don't want my body saying, "Yeah, sorry," and like engine off, and like nothing like that. Yeah, although like towards the end, I did have like some slight cramping, like starting to happen in my calf muscle, but with a little bit of water and electrolytes, I was able to be fine with that. Be fine. But yeah, I mean, like, definitely didn't want to be one of those people that it ends up like that because it like sucks. It's like you train, you prepare, you spend all this time, months over months, and you get there and then your body's just not with it. And it's like, how could you shut down on me right now? Like, day of. Like, we've had so many training sessions. We've had so many, like, you think your body's adapted to it, and then all of a sudden. But for something like New York, most of the HYROX events are indoors. So I know that some of the people in New York, it was kind of hard because it was outside. The weekend we went wasn't too bad, but the second weekend was hot. And if you guys don't know, the running part of the course is not covered. So you're outside, the sun is there. You are by the water, so you would think it would be a little bit cooler, but when you're doing that high rocks, you ain't worried about it. You just hot. You hot. The whole time. You just hot. So because you're moving, you're doing a bunch of running and you're doing a bunch of stations and you're trying to go as fast as you can, and your body temperature is getting hotter and hotter, and then outside the temperature is getting hotter and hotter. So that was something that I will say, if you are ever going to do New York, just be aware that if they have it at the pier, you're outdoor. I mean, the running is is not covered. So just be prepared, maybe extra electrolytes, extra water, extra hydration, because if it's hot like it was that second weekend, man, you got to make sure your body's ready.
Yeah. And even the day before. So I volunteered. So it was so windy. That headwind. And that, a lot of runners were like, oh man, that wind. Yeah. So just be prepared for any type of weather because, yeah. But luckily on our day, it was
It was nice.
it was nice. And it wasn't too hot when we
Jeez.
raced.
Right. When we started. I think when
Yeah,
we finished, it was a little bit warm.
it
Like
was. Yeah.
maybe like the last lap around, it was starting to warm up, but we had pretty good weather for hours. It wasn't like we had like a midday race. It wasn't quite peaking like, 80s yet, so it was still nice and calm. But by the time we finished, it was like it was getting there. So we're just lucky that we got a decent time to race, and we were able to do it without any real like big issues or anything.
What would you say was the hardest station for you?
Burpees, they suck. They will always suck. And if you don't agree, that's fine. But they suck. I don't care how you do it. They sucked in DECA. That was the worst thing I did. And they sucked in HYROX. And I don't care that HYROX don't have no weight. You gotta jump and burpee and jump and burpee. No way. Terrible.
Yeah. Okay. What would you say was the easiest station for you?
Wall balls and the rower. Between the wall balls and the rower were like felt like the easiest for me. The wall balls are a little tough because they're at the end of the race, so you're tired. But I still think that I was able to like put them up and then like finish that station pretty good even after like it being your last station. The rower was like a recovery for me, so it was like kind of like I'm not going extremely fast. I'm just trying to do like really hard pulls to let the meters run up. So it kind of like felt like I wasn't like extremely like, oh my gosh, breathing heavy. I was just kind of like long deep breaths, long deep pulls, and I was able to like recover a bit on there. But those two would be probably the easier of the stations to me. What about you?
I would say the hardest, and this I believe this is because of the order, were the lunges, you know? Because that isn't that station 7?
It is.
So that right there, it I was like, oh my gosh. Damn, my legs were done at that point. The easiest, I would say, um, probably the skier. It's the first station. And it's not like, that. And then I would say also the wall balls, because at that point, I was just ready for it to be over
To
with.
be done. To
So,
be
like,
done.
yeah, yeah, like like our strategy worked. Like, all right, let's go. We did it pretty quick too,
Yeah,
actually.
we did. We did. I looked at the when I was looking back at how like fast it was like 3 minutes. It was like within the top 1,000. That was good. I was like, I'm ready to be done. Especially after my calves start almost cramping up. I'm like, nah, we gotta get out of here. I need to go sit down, like be able to sit down. I don't want to stand up. I don't want to run. I don't want to move no body parts. I just want to finish this, run to that podium thing, and take some pictures and be done. I was like, nah, let's go. Let's get this done. Done, done, done. Cause what? No, the lunges were tough too, but I actually like lunges. And a lot of people hate lunges. So it's like lunges are always in like my leg day routines, whether it's reverse, walking, split, it doesn't really matter. Like I like lunges. So they were a little hard because like I said, once again, placement, right? I think once you do those burpee broad jumps though, your legs like they just don't really recover.
Mm.
So then you gotta go and you gotta do what was burpees for? But you come back and it's like, I'm tired, my legs are just tired. And they start, you go with them lunges, and you gotta squat all them times for the wall balls, and it's like, what am I doing? But yeah.
Would you Do another HYROX.
Yeah. I might be doing one at the end of the year, possibly. A relay, though. And we're still actually trying to figure out who would be good in what station amongst the four of us for that. So that should be. I was thinking maybe sled push. That actually wasn't that hard for me either.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good. I like the sled push. But yeah, so sled push and probably the wall balls. There's enough gap in between, but we just got to figure out if that makes sense in the order for like other people to not necessarily double back on the same, like have a 5-6 station or something like that. But yeah, and then one of the doubles whenever we can try to get one done. These tickets be like Hunger Games.
Yeah, they are quick. You if they say they're releasing at 12, you better be there at 8.
Right.
Just waiting.
Wait,
Because it goes like this. And then when you finally get in, you're like 40,000 in line. You're like,
a mess. It's a mess. I know, cause like we just tried to get tickets for Dallas, and a lot of people. Well, what happened with New York was one night there was a storm, so they canceled like a bunch of races, and they gave them like vouchers, and I think they were like first, like the first wave of vouchers for people or early. I don't know what early ticketing or something like that. And I think that they really went and just got majority of the tickets for Dallas because they didn't get to race in New York because they had to call it off because there ended up being like a thunderstorm on I think it was the second weekend. Yeah, on the second weekend. Yeah, one of the nights it was
yeah, Saturday.
yeah, Saturday. It was a thunderstorm that rolled through and they canceled the races and gave everybody vouchers. So hopefully it's out the way. Maybe Nashville won't be so crazy.
Listen, the way HYROX is I think all of them are gonna be like that. It's like it's like trying to get into like a marathon, like the New York City Marathon, the Boston Marathon.
No,
It's I've heard it's really hard, but it's just looking like the HYROX is getting up there, and that like trying to get tickets, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I would do another HYROX, either solo, double, relay, or what have you. Um,
yeah, good for you.
I,
I
I
ain't doing no solo. Repeat. Y'all hear me? No solo. Sticking to it like the marathon. Not happening. Have no desire.
I don't
Doubles or relay me. That's it.
I don't know when. I did want to do one out of the country. I heard Paris is really nice, London, Berlin.
That's at like the airport. That one's pretty. I mean, that one's like by the planes and stuff. That
Yeah,
one's
that one's I actually been to that location, so it is nice. Um, but I'll see if I can even get in. Don't know. But yeah, I would definitely do it again, and I would encourage other folks who are like, "Hey, what is this HYROX about? Try it. Do it like us. Do a doubles, right? If you can find someone to do it with you, or even if you do it by yourself, go at your own pace. For your first one, just see what it's about,
right.
and if you want to continue to do it, then that's when you're like, all right, we're gonna
I
beat
can
up time,
work on this.
do this,
Yeah.
do that. You
Yeah.
know how to, because
That's what we did.
yeah,
We just went in like people were like asking me when they told them I was doing it. Oh, what time do you want? Like, I don't know what time I want. I want to finish it. I want to see what it's like. I want to go through it first. And then if I decide to do it again, now we could talk about, okay, I know kind of where my base is and what I need to improve on or where we can improve or what each of us need to do to get to a certain time. Because honestly, 90% of Instagram, TikTok, whatever, will only show you the top people. And that's not real life. Real life, not everybody's doing their first HYROX in an hour and 30 minutes. And one thing that people understand, everybody's lifestyle is different. Okay? You have people who have kids, husband, wife, children, 9 to 5s. Some of these people that you see that are doing these elite things, this is all they do. They are just training to do this, you know? Or they're just some type of athlete within their brand or something like that. So they may not have the same type of lifestyle. So, like, don't compare or contrast, like, oh, I didn't do this time. And that's what the times I always see. Like Tay said, go at your own pace, go at your own rate of what you can do without making it be too much, without making yourself be that person that's cramping up, making yourself be that person who's leaving in the wheelchair. Go at your own pace. Feel it out. What's your body telling you at what rate you can go? Then do that. Don't overexert yourself to the point where you get hurt or, you tear something, you strain something, or like I said, you just don't finish. Because then it's not even really worth it. It's like, I've been on all this training and you go out here and try to do something. It's like, okay, my body's not working out how I want it to work out, or I'm pushing it too much. We didn't go in with a time thing. We didn't really even know we didn't go with a plan. We didn't have a pace plan like now after you find out, all the stuff after the fact. Like we didn't practice pace. We didn't practice much transitions. We only saw each other once before the whole race to try to practice transitions. So that's what I'm saying. You have people who live in the same town that are doing it. So they practice together. They go do things. Like Tay said, she was in California for the beginning of the year. So I was in New York. So we weren't practicing together. We were just kind of like, hey, this is my burpee form, or this is my wall ball form, or this is my lunges. And we were just kind of like doing whatever. And yes, I was doing whatever workouts I saw. And that's also not a thing. Like once you start to do it and you want to keep doing it and you want to get better, you need to get with someone who knows who's actually done it, because then they can will probably help you better with the plan. Or some of the elite people that tell you these workouts, and like I said, you might not be at that elite time, but you'll come in knowing that you had some type of structure in your program to get you to whatever time you might want to have. So, but I just want to say, like, don't be on the internet talking about because I finished in 2 hours and 15 minutes. You finished. There's people out there that don't finish. There's people out there that finished after that. There's people out there that don't. Put yourself down just because you might not have gotten your personal best that you wanted. But if it's your first time is your personal best because you've never done it. And you just work your way from there if you want to continue doing it or you want to do another one. And just, change up the strategy a little bit for what you're doing. But still, like Tay says, go at your own pace. But I just had to say that because I see us people on the internet, oh, they ran 1:15, oh, they did an hour 15 minutes, or an hour and 30 minutes. Nice. I also would like to ask them what their day might look like. What's their lifestyle? Do they work more than one job? Do they have kids? Do they have more than one kid? All that kind of stuff. Because like I said, all of that is part of it. It's not excuses, but just that life is different for everybody. So the training schedule and the training intensity and all that kind of stuff is different. And so you can't compare yourselves to people who you really don't know what their real life is. They're only just showing you like, well, I work out all the time.
Right. Little snippets of it. Yeah, one thing I would add to that is go to a gym like we did, that has a simulation, so you can actually know what you're gonna do. Go to a gym like I did in the Bronx, and take HYROX classes. You know, to prepare yourself. I don't think you should go into this blind. I mean, you can, but prepare yourself as much as you can, when you have the time. Weekend classes, early morning classes, whenever
Evening.
they're giving, yeah, evening classes, whenever they're giving a simulation or anything that's HYROX related, even if it's just a talk like I went to. Um, any knowledge is helpful, you know any workout is helpful that's relating to the high rocks, because it's only, strengthening you, and it's preparing you for the,
Right.
you
It's a
know
specific workout to prepare your body for what is to come in that race. You're doing exercises that are simulating what you're going to be doing. So, it's nothing like consistency in something. And so once your body continues to do this class that you're taking maybe twice a week or whatever, your body will start to get a little used to it. And then you'll start to even see in the class, like, oh, I'm able to handle the rower better, or I'm able to handle the sled better. It's kind of like you will start to feel like, okay, my body's getting used to these kind of exercises, so that when you get there, it's like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. Not a shock to the body, like, whoa.
yeah. I
The gyms have the equipment too. So
right.
like you might not have a sled pull where you be able to pull a sled or push at your gym, or, certain things. That was one for me. We have a sled, but it's nowhere near like the HYROX sled, and it's very hard to practice simulate when the equipment's not exactly the same. So the gyms definitely provide structure, because most of the time it's people who have gotten done really good HYROX times and things like that, and they can tell you, like I said, even during a class, they start talking like, hey, this kind of technique works, try this or this. They help, they guide you, and like I said, you start training your body for these exercises.
And also look on YouTube. You could look on YouTube, and they have like at home
Mm-hmm.
high rocks workouts, or things that you can do in the gym to prepare for high rocks. So whatever little bit of training you can do. When I was in California, while training for all this stuff, I got a kettlebell, and I used that kettlebell and ran. That's all I had. Then when I came here, found a gym in the Bronx, Ecus Fitness. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. But I went there and was able to take classes. I didn't take many, but I took took a couple, and I knew, okay, this is what's preparing me for HYROX. We did a mini simulation, and then we did other HYROX movements. Then I took another class in Queens. Shout out to my friend Helen for actually sending it to me. Um, she also did the HYROX. But anyway, took a class with you. So any little bit that I could do. And I have kettlebells, I have sandbag, and I have something else. No, I don't have the ball. Um, but I have some equipment that I was able to just go to the field and work on, some movements. Farmer's carry, the lunges. Any little bit helps. So if you're thinking about doing this, you know,
Yeah, definitely get with a gym. Shout out to Fitz in Long Island, Wantor. I took a lot of classes there. I took a couple of classes at Purebred in Uniondale in Long Island. That's actually where we did our simulation at Purebred. Shout out to Mike because he led that class, and that was that simulation, and that was really good. We learned a lot. They helped us out with some of the transition stuff and things like that. So, and kind of got our body ready for the race. So,
that's what I would tell someone. But
absolutely.
it is fun. It's all on how I think it's fun. I was smiling the whole time, even
We
when
were talking
I
conversations. Like that's what also makes it a little easier when you're not doing it by yourself, because there's somebody there with you, kind of like, come on, we could do this, we could do this. All right, I know we slowing down, but we gonna get through it. This, that, and the third. Come on, and then you got your own personal person that's cheering for you at every station, because your partner's at every station with you. So it's like, you're on the ski, let's go, Tay, let's go. Come on, I'm on the rower, let's go, Court, let's go. Come on, finish. We could do this. Come on, we almost done. And it's fun. It's fun.
it was
Doubles.
it was fun.
DLA.
And the volunteers and the judges, they're
Oh
all
yeah.
cheering you on,
Oh
and
yeah.
like every
The
time we
volunteers,
I was like
the volunteers, our day were lit. They had these two girls, one at where you come by the tunnel. She was son, she's high-fiving, she's
Yes.
everything. And the other girl standing in the middle, she's like, yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. You know, it's a lot of energy. It's just good vibes. It's fun because other people make it fun too. People you don't know cheering. Let's go. Come on. Finish. Come on, man. You got this. It's so collective. And you know, that's always good in a space where people are doing things. You know, to everybody have positive energy and be collective on what everybody's trying to finish. But you know, somebody's taking time out their day to tell me to come on, I can do this. They here for a whole nother person. But that person ain't around yet. So hey, I go
Right.
cheer on other people. Why not? Like whatever. I went to one. I went to go support one of my friends who did a solo that second weekend. And until she came around, I got to the station early, and I'm like, all right, let's go. You know, people there. I'm like, let's go. You can finish this at your own pace. Take your time, deep breaths, breathe. You know, because people just stop breathing. It's crazy, but people just stop breathing. I mean, during anything, and I'm just like, breathe. Let the air flow so you can like have oxygen, like you know. So it was good though. It's good. It's definitely good energy. You know,
Good.
and that's what also makes it a great event.
And the DJs were good and everything.
Yeah.
The whole vibe was good. So I highly recommend people doing at least one high
Try
rock.
it.
You
Try
know,
it.
it's not that bad. Oh, so what's next up for you? Okay, you said you might do a HYROX relay. Other than that, what else? What you got on your calendar?
I plan to do a 5K in DC in September, and I think we're gonna try to do the 5K again that we did last year in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So that's in October. Um, and then I don't know. We talked about maybe a couple of decas, maybe, but we got to just solidify um doing those, and we'll probably do those. We'll probably compete those decas as doubles. Depending on time wise, because we just have other things that we might be doing around the same time. So we think that it'd probably be smarter to do doubles for the deca for a couple of the decas. Yeah. So that's it. Couple decas, hopefully. Maybe a HYROX at the end of the year and a couple 5Ks. Gotta get outside while you can, guys. Don't be inside all day. You don't gotta be inside in the summer. You can go to the gym, but you can be outside. You can be getting up and down in bleachers. You can get some footwork in. You can do other things besides just go to the gym every day. Like it's winter, because it's summer. Get outside, work your IT bands. People don't be doing that agility work and none of that stuff. They don't really do that inside. So get outside, get to a track, go to the football field, do some things, do some fun things this summer. Don't just stay inside the gym. We're forced to be there in the winter. So while you have nice weather, go outside, enjoy it, get some rays.
I agree.
For real. People be just wanting to live in the gym. And I'm like, I want to work out. Like, don't get me wrong, but there's other workouts besides just straight up lifting all the time. Like, give your body give your body a little break and let it do some other stuff and develop some other areas, you know, outside of just lifting all the time. Because this has showed me that, like, yeah, all I used to do was really lift. I did like cardio. I would take some HIIT classes and stuff like that. But this just showed me that, like, it's okay a couple days a week to go on a run. And not a long run, not like 6-7 miles, none of that. I'm not doing that. Y'all hear me? I'm not doing that. But like a 5K, like, 3 miles or so. You go out on a nice little run. It's a nice day out. Treat your body, move it in different ways, because that's one of the things that me and Taya talked about. It's like, I live in the gym. I'm a trainer. I'm always in the gym. And so, but in the summer, I like to be outside. I go host Pilates classes in the park. I do all sorts of things that require me to be outside. I still go to the gym. I still lift. Just I cut it down a little bit and insert like track days. Days I go to track, work on a little bit of speed, see if I still got it from back in the day, do, like I said, agility drills and stuff like that, run up and down the bleachers, a little bit more cardio. Because when you're doing something like HYROX, the whole gym thing is not a thing. It taught me I had to change my whole schedule. My whole block of training had to be adjusted to allow for me to run, for allowing me to do more like the ski, the rower, even the assault bike to help with some of my like VO2 max and stuff like that. It changes the whole thing because I'm going in there with my split. I got legs, I got back and buys, I got chest, shoulders, and tries. I got another leg day. All of that had to be cut. There wasn't. It was a lower body day, an upper body day, and HYROX days, and running. So, like, I'm just saying, if you're interested in doing it, you need to understand that if you just go to the gym and live in the gym, that's not going to cut it for a HYROX event. It's not a strength-based event. You need to have some strength, of course, but it's not like the ski and the rower and stuff like that. All of that stuff is like cardiovascular stuff. You have to make sure your heart rate is in the right place and things like that. And that's what I really struggle with, my heart rate, staying down. So, now in preparation that, hey, listen, things happen. We might be able to get into Dallas. Dallas is in November. So I do some runs, like I said, on the summertime. So I'm just keeping up with kind of keeping the runs in my schedule. I did go back to my splits, but I'll also put in like an athletic training kind of HYROX conditioning day in my workout split too. So I still try to keep it in there until I know, if I get tickets to Nashville for the relay, I'll start to tailor my training to go back to, because that's in December. I'll start to tailor my training to go back to a little bit more HYROX, specific days and take out a couple of my, change my block around again as to how I was training. Because I still do hop into classes at Fitz, the gym. I took HYROX class last Tuesday. But, yeah, just to keep it fresh because you don't want to let it go all the way. Like, you don't want to be like, oh, well, I didn't think we were going to do it. And it's like, yeah, well, we ended up getting tickets.
So you gotta stay ready, right?
Right. Stay ready, right.
That's
So
what
just hop up in one of them classes, even if you're just doing it once a week. Just hop up in the class so that you start preparing yourself for it. But I just want to let people know because that was another big thing. Like, it's like such a big debate, but you really got to get out of the gym mindset, and it's like hybrid training. It's like you go to the gym a couple of days, you got to run a couple of days, you got to go to the track, get a little speed work in. You got to change your whole block of training to do something like this. So that's also just something I want to let people know. I'm a big gym girly, but I gotta run.
that's
I learned that.
that's good. That's good advice. Yeah.
I made it through, but I probably could have been a little bit better had I trained more of the running consistently than I did, like just in April, when the weather got better for me to do it. And May, that wasn't enough time to necessarily get everything situated. So I just want to let everybody know because, yeah, don't, I saw people after the race like, yeah, like me, should have ran. I was in the gym. I was doing all this work. The stations were fine, but you got 8 runs with all 8 stations. Powering through a run and powering through a station are 2 different things. Powering through a station, yeah. Powering through running is a mental thing. You have to mentally be there. You could just push yourself to try to get through the stations, but mentally running, it's like, come on, you can keep going. Can you keep going, And if you just train and run, you'll be all right.
Yeah. That's I believe that as well. And that's what everyone says online too. Run, run some
It's an
more,
endurance
run
race.
some more, run some more, run some more.
Go do your leg day and then go run on top of that.
Wait,
Because
yeah,
that's what it
my
feels like. It's like
yeah.
you lifting, like you doing these sled push pulls, you doing lunges, burpees, your legs are exhausted, and then you have to run on them. You have to train them to do that. I can't go out and run a fresh 3K, a 5K every single day. And then that's not going to work either. You're going to have to run after some heavy lifts and where your legs are already shot out and you're training your legs to like push through the fact that they're so tired and exhausted from the workout. Now it's time we got to go run the 2 miles. Like, oh, and making it through. But it pushes your body adapts, and you're able to better get through the event.
Yeah. Run uncompromised legs. That's
Yep,
for sure.
for sure.
I thank you for taking the time out your day to talk to me about HYROX and what you got coming up next. I'll keep you posted if I end up, getting a ticket to Paris or London.
Yeah, I'll be there.
That'd be that'd be so that'd be so cool. I just
That would be. That would be cool. That'd be a good trip.
yeah. Um so hopefully
Keep me posted.
if it all works out.
It all works.
Um yeah, but yeah, thanks again. Any final words before we wrap up?
Do hard things. Nothing in life is going to be easy all the time. But push yourself to do hard things because you'll feel better and you'll feel better accomplished about the things that you thought you couldn't do that you can do.
Yeah, do hard things. Oh,
Do hard.
speaking of hard things, this is before I wrap up. Some friends and I rode from Newark to Philadelphia to get some cheesesteaks. That was really hard. I ended up doing 117 miles, the most mileage I've ever done in my life on
Did
Saturday.
you have to drive back to New York?
We took the train back.
Oh, okay. Whew.
Yeah. So
Lord.
yeah.
Shout out to you. Hard things.
Was it worth it? Yes. The cheesesteak was good, and the people that I rode with, they were
Where did you get the cheesesteak from?
D'Alessandro's, I believe,
Okay.
in Philly, and it was good, and it was hard. It was difficult.
I'm
It
hard.
got difficult. It was fun, but it got difficult.
Yeah,
I have to be on
I
a
can imagine.
but yeah, I'm glad that we all decided that we're gonna do this thing, and it was hard when everybody's just riding and not saying nothing.
Nothing.
You all just the same thing, like
The thoughts. Like,
you
why did I do that? Why did I sign up for this?
so
What exactly made me
so
think that
many
this was
things,
going to be
so
good
many.
for me?
I was praying. I was thinking to myself, why am I out here? Why does my foot hurt? Everything. But at the end of the day, once I got home, I was like, I did that.
I did
We
that.
did that. So I second that. Do hard things. Challenge yourself. Try it. Why not?
Why not? Why not?
That's right.
While you're here, you might as well do some things.
Right.
Just not no marathon for me or a half marathon. Sorry.
Okay. Well, you got it with the 5K.
I'm good. Yeah, that's fine for me. Yeah.
10K?
No.
All right. On that note, this is
And that's not because I don't want it's hard. It's because I just don't want to. I have no desire to want to do that. Those things.
do hard things. Challenge yourself.
It's not I can do it. It's not that I can do it. I just don't want to do that. Just like I could participate in a solo HYROX. I don't want to do that.
You don't want to do it.
No. It doesn't really sound like I like to try to run a 5K. My goal for this year was to try to run a 5K under 30 minutes. That's my goal. I'm not no big runner. I used to run track, but I was a short sprinter. So if you know, you know. Anybody run no miles. And I was a long and triple jumper. And so I don't, if you know, you know. If you were a track person, you know that to try to go and run mileage is something well out of what a sprinter would be doing. So I don't want to go any longer than that. I feel like the 5K still keeps me kind of fast. And so that's why I don't want to train up because I really don't want to lose any speed that I might still have at this age. I want to kind of keep it level just in case I decide to do some other thing that requires me to be faster. And I'm like, oh, I got to try to, get back in the groove of things. So 5K is fast enough can be run fast enough that it still keeps me, so that's one of my bigger reasons why I don't want to do a half marathon or a 10K, anything like that, because who knows, with all these challenges or fitness things coming out, you never know. They might have shorter runs. And, I want to see if I can still do those, So that's more so because even with HYROX, like when we do the whenever I partake in a relay, that 1 kg can be run anywhere from 3 to 4 minutes, you know. So I mean, kilometer can be run fast. You know what I'm saying? You only doing one, then you doing a station, then you get to rest, then you get to, you know what I'm saying? So they're gonna be fast. So I don't want to train my body to run too slow for too
Just
long at
yeah.
a steady pace. You know what I'm saying? I want to just make sure. So that's one of the main reasons why I don't really want to go up any 10K or half marathon or marathon. Really, that's the background behind it as to why I don't. I'll stay in my little 5K bubble and whatever else down.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't want to run that long. I've run a half marathon. I'm not gonna say I won't ever do it again, but I'm fine.
Right,
So 10K
right,
is fine. 5K is fine. But I'm not a fan of running. I'm not a fan of running. So for me, any running event is a challenge to me because I have to run. I was just on a bike for hours. I would prefer to do that than to run for
right.
hours.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like for me, right, it's like 30 minutes and under I could deal with. That's even still long for me because I'm like somebody who was running races that were in 11 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, you know, 24 seconds. These were seconds, you know? But unfortunately, and hopefully I'll somebody might make one, where you start bringing back track for like older people, outside like athletes, people who used to be athletes that because you get all these run clubs, but they're just running long. It's like get a sprint club and like host a fun track meet or something like that, where it's like you could run those shorter events, you know, and see where you're at, at this big age.
Well, I mean, you're already saying it, so you can kind of you no, you don't want to do host. Okay, okay. Well, okay.
You can just get somebody in a run club to start like a sprint version that's already got it going on. It's a lot of work to run those things, you know what I mean? You know me. I got 500 jobs and it's if I had a little bit more free time, it wouldn't be bad. I would be able to do it. But until like my schedule calms down a little bit with the other jobs I have, I gotta like can't put too much more on my plate.
Right, right,
That's the only issue.
right.
So,
Yeah.
but
Um,
if you listen to this podcast and you up in New York, well, like Queens and down, Long Islandish, and you make a sprint club, you be sure to reach out, comment or something. Let us know.
let us know. Most
Yeah,
important, like let her know, not me. I'll be there for support. I'm not.
she gonna run for 2 hours, but she ain't gonna run for 15 seconds. But listen, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'll
Don't
be there to support you on your 10-second run.
I'll be there support. Yeah.
Oh man.
This is the Rolling with Tay podcast. I'm your host, Tasia, aka Tay. Thanks for listening, watching it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.